Hey, what's going on, guys? I have a pretty good topic to talk about in today's video. So right here, I have a set of Hoosier QuickTime Pros. These are 28 by 1150 by 17. These are my friend Bryce's wheels. He has a red 6th gen, as you see by the beadlock ring. And I said, hey, dude, could I try out your bias ply tires? And he says, obviously, sure, let's go. And I told him, I said, dude, that's great. So I'm using these with the M&H 28-inch front runners here. I know it's going to be an apples to oranges comparison with a 26-inch radial versus a 28-inch bias ply. 26s being on the 15-inch rims and the 28s being on 17-inch rims, but they're both beadlocks, so the sidewall should be about the same, honestly. So obviously, it's going to be a little different. I know that, but I'm just going to try and see if the compound is right for me or the compound and a 28-inch tire is right for me. So one of the craziest things that I looked at was in the draggy video that I went 1038, I shifted twice before the 330. And I shifted right after the 8th mile. And I stayed in 4th basically the whole back half of the track. So I was definitely down on some RPM when I shifted into 4th if I carried it all the way out to the quarter. So a few different things to test there, the 28s, the bias plies. First thing I'm going to do before I put them on is I'm actually going to do a weight comparison between my 26-inch radial set and these 28s that Bryce just gave me, because I think it would be interesting. So I'm going to first do that, then swap them on the car, and then tomorrow I'm going to take them to Quaker and see what it does. I'm going to have the interior gutted and everything again, so density altitude looks like it's going to be at least 1,000 feet worse, but I'm more looking at little snippets, like say if 60 to 130 changed or my 60 foot changed, which 60 foot will change a little bit with density altitude, but whatever. No big deal there. So we're going to get these weighed and then get them swapped over, and then we'll see what it does at the track. So that one, it says 51.8. So I'm going to take it off, let it reset, and then I'm going to stick it back on just to ensure that that's the right weight. That one said 49.8. 49.8. Okay, so I got 49.8 twice. So I'm going to go with that number. So 49.8 for the rears. All right, I'm doing it out of order, but these are on top first, so I'm actually going to weigh these first. These are the 26-inch radials on the 18-inch race stars. All right, so these are just at 40 pounds. I had one that said 39.8. I had another one that said 40. Then I had another one that said 40.2. So that's pretty much 40. All right, so these are the 26-inch radials on the nice beadlock Forge Star wheels. So I weighed it twice. It said 48.2. I'm going to weigh it one more time just to make sure that number is correct. All right, so the rear Hoosiers are actually about a pound heavier. Oh, well, I think, honestly, if the Hoosiers work, I'm going to get them, but I'm going to get them in a 26. Makes sense. Now for the major weight savings, here is the other front M&H, just bias ply front. It's pretty bouncy already, honestly. These are stupid light. Like, this is nothing. So this is going to be the biggest weight saver. I'm almost going to call the rears a wash. So let's see what these weigh. And the fronts, the first time said 32, but I think it was leaning on me a bit too much. The front said 36. So that's pretty impressive. Let me add up the numbers here and I'll get right back with you guys. So the weight savings actually isn't that much. It's only about 5 pounds. Yeah, so I'm going to get these switched over onto the car and probably just take it for a quick little test drive after I get the fluid in it, because I'm still waiting on the new trans and diff fluid because I wanted to change it after turn and burn. Just for good upkeep, which is actually what's in those two containers there. All the oils look good. But yeah, just gonna wait on Amazon while I change my tires. So yeah, do that and then go for a quick test drive around the street, and then tomorrow I'm actually going to the track. So I'll see you guys then. We are doing a little better today for sure. I feel better. Confidence goes a long way. I'm on those slicks like I said, so we'll see how it goes. I got a GoPro facing the back too, so Should be pretty cool to see what that does. So it didn't matter. Whatever. I spun bad. Whatever. I didn't like the feel of those tires anyways. Oh God, I spun bad. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Thanks, sir. Alrighty, guys, I'm going up for my second pass. This is gonna be my last pass of the night. It's way too late. I have baseball in the morning, so I didn't really get any good data on the first one, so I'm just gonna kind of ease into this one and lift shift into all my gears and just go that way. Not a great test, but it's gonna tell me that I still need my 26s. Said I did a 1093, 1095. 1 mile an hour? That seems so slow. I mean, granted, I know I lift shifted, but Jesus. 1092 at 128, yeah. 17360 foot. That's horrible. 47, yeah. This thing just slowed down everywhere. Yeah, it slowed down everywhere. So, my first off consensus, 28s and bias plies slowed my car down an extreme amount to the point where I'm never gonna put bias plies back on this car. And if anybody ever asks why, I'll relate them back to this video. Now, the 26 versus 28 thing, I'd say the 26s still did better. So, yeah, I had my hopes up, but it just kind of sucked. So, there you go. Car got slower on 28s and bias plies. So, Alrighty, guys. So as you guys saw, tires did go slower. I mean, I didn't make a perfect 100% pass, but with only 2 attempts and a ton of downtime in between, it wasn't going to be great. And especially, there's actually a big skill difference launching from radial to bias ply. So there's that too. But one thing that is a metric of drag racing, I know it's not everything, but 60 to 130. My 60 to 130 was over 1.2, almost 1.3 seconds slower than my best. Obviously, you can't really compare best to best, but fully gutted interior, just like this, with the 26s and the radials, I averaged between 6.5 and 6.7. No pun intended. This tonight, both of them were high 7s. Like barely breaking into the 7s. So, not the move. So if somebody asks, why don't you have a bias ply on it? That answers your question. There is a time and a place for them, and definitely not on this car. So I'll happily go faster on a radial and get made fun of or have comments said to me. I don't really care. It's just what I figured out what works and how I know how to launch. And even at that, the bias plies were supposed to help my 60 foot. My best 60 foot tonight was a 1.74. Launching the same exact way, using the 2-step as the radials. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. But that's it for this video, guys. I saved my wallet $1,800, which is always great to hear. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.